on the Bossman Show this week. Got a great show for you. And as we promised you last week, we'll be joined by the Stephen F. Austin, new head coach of the Lumberjacks. He was at Texas A&M. He was also at Oklahoma State. Tony Allen, the guy we had on the show before, in Kansas, throwing on a Keller on the Bossman Show. Coach, how you doing this morning, sir?
Man, I'm good, boss man. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good. Can't complain. Another great week here in ATL. August is here, and you know what? It's getting closer to that time of the year for you guys where you guys get to get on the court with your guys some more.
That's right. We're excited around here, and our guys have worked hard this summer, and it's been a lot of fun and getting to know each other and working hard. And we're just finishing up summer school. Got about a week left, and our guys have put in that time to get better and just grinding through it.
Well, I hear that, Coach. And, Coach, how did that July traveling period, recruiting period go for you guys? I know you got to get on the road a little bit there. And so you see any guys you able to bring in for next season and beyond, some guys you think you can get your hands on there?
You know, we signed a couple guys from Atlanta, a kid from MLK, Kevon Harris this past spring, who tough, hard-nosed kid, junkyard dog, who's been great for us this summer. And then we signed a point guard this past spring. Aaron Augustin played for Charm over at Miller Grove, set the school record in assists, who's been exciting for us. Quick, tough kid. And, we only have one senior on our team for the 16-17 year. And we've got a guy committed to fill that scholarship. So recruiting's been real good for us. As much as they've won here at SFA, everybody seems like that we've kind of touched and put our hands on, at this level at least, has wanted to come join us. So it's been exciting and, it's been successful. So we just got to make sure we pick the right ones to come play for us.
Exactly. And as you saw, I thought you heard you say hard-nosed guys that play hard. So I know you're one of the guys that are going to play hard to give it to you every night as well. And, Coach, do you feel like the familiarity with the area of being in Texas, you've coached in the Big 12, you kind of know that area, and also coming out here to Georgia to get kids, that, where the hotbeds are, they'll give you a little bit of advantage when you're going out and recruit against these other coaches in your conference?
I don't know if I hope that with some of my experiences and the people I've been able to meet the last 17 years, you referenced it earlier, guys like Tony Allen and those kind of people, I've been blessed. I consider, Hall of Fame guys and Eddie Sutton and Bill Self and the latest guy, Billy Kennedy at A&M, able to win the SEC last year. I've been fortunate. Coached 26 guys that played in the NBA. And, it's not about me. It's about those guys with the great hearts and guys that want to work hard. I think we've got a great blueprint to make kids better. And I think kids, want to get better. And all kids, at this age, that's the whole deal, is skill development. And I think if they get in here and work, we'll make them better. And at this school here, they're known for being so tough. And, obviously, they beat West Virginia, which, Coach Huggins does an unbelievable job. But that's what they feel like, and toughness. And they were tipping away from going to Sweet 16 last year. And they want to get to that second weekend. And that's what's, to me, that's when that tournament starts. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here. And the thing that we look for at our place here is an everyday guy. A guy, it doesn't matter, raining, windy, gritty, grimy. We want these guys playing the blacktop. It doesn't matter. Going to get in here and bump and grind with you.
Well, I hear that, folks. We're joined by a calculator here on the Bossman Show. Now, Coach, I was at this championship game when you guys played Kentucky. This seemed like it was a Kentucky home game at the Bridgestone Arena.
Oh, man.
Why this is a home game right here for Kentucky? But you guys played them tough anyway, and still you beat them at your place, Texas A&M, and that was a tough game you guys played. But have you ever been in a tournament where it's like a pretty much a Kentucky invitational like that?
I've never been in a conference tournament game like that where I felt like it was in Rupp Arena. I'm sitting next to, in the second half, I'm sitting next to Alex Caruso. He'd come out for a breather after the second media timeout, and it was a tremendous atmosphere. And I'm sitting next to Caruso, And I thought it was a great game. And I told him, I said, man, this is like a Sweet 16, Elite 8 level game. And I told him this. I said, you take away this crowd. I said, that's the level of play. Because guys are, if you remember, Daniel House was phenomenal. And Euless, was great that game. And Briscoe made plays that he had made, in my opinion, all year long. He was great. And it was just a tremendous atmosphere. That Big Blue Nation, I thought willed those kids back into the game. And I thought our guys were unbelievable down the stretch to get it into overtime. And, it's a great play. I thought it toughened us up to allow us to get to the Sweet 16, allow us to make that epic comeback against Northern Iowa, get us to the Sweet 16. And it's just a lot of fun. I thought it was a lot of fun. That's what you play college basketball for, to do that kind of stuff. And it's a memory. Hopefully those kids are on that team, and for me, for sure, to experience. It was like, you hate losing, but to play in that environment, that's what you coach for.
Exactly. And speaking of coaches, Coach, I know you worked for some great guys. What are some of the things you took away from the previous coaches you worked for as you go into your job now, Stephen F. Austin, being the head man now in charge?
The one thing they all have in common is they care about those kids. They're going to coach them hard on the court, but when they leave that court, and they're going to love them up. And whatever happened on that court, it's done. And they care about them first. They care about those kids, their well-being, their life. That's the most important thing. And that's where I've taken away from all of them, is they pour into those kids. They think about them, not only as basketball players, but their academics, their life. And if they do whatever is most important for them first, they think about them first, then whatever happens, that'll translate to them being successful on the court. I think that's what prepared me and allowed me to make decisions on who to hire and who to recruit, and will allow us to be successful. But they're all great men, great Christian men, and they think about those kids first versus themselves. They have unbelievable, unselfish thoughts, and that's why they've been successful and won championships.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, I know there's another big part about it when you're in a mid-major level school is the non-conference scheduling. And, playing a high-major school, you really don't want to play sometime the good mid-majors. So how has it been on the other side of it now, having to try to schedule games for the future and this year? And how do you see this going forward, trying to get these games for your guys down in Stephen F. Austin and going on the road and playing quality opponents?
It's been hard. And no thanks to my predecessors and Danny Casper and Brad Underwood. They've won so much here, and in the last 5 years, they've won the third. They got the third most winningest program in the country, and in the last 3 years, when Brad was here, the second winningest program, only behind Villanova. So it's not like people are just saying, "Hey, we're just going to sign SFA up to play," but fortunately. I think that because of where I've been and what I've done and relationships, I just reached out to ESPN when I got here, said, hey, we'll play anybody, anywhere. And I've let the network do a lot of the schedule for me. And, we're on ESPN like 6 or 7 times before Christmas because of what people have done way before me. And people want to watch these teams play. And to be honest with you, boss man, we lost like 6 guys off our team. So nobody thinks we're going to be any good. So, they've been more apt to play us this year. So hopefully, the schools that want to play us this year are wrong, I hope. And, we'll get a chance to prove them wrong. And you talk about the aforementioned Kentucky squad. That's who we get to start our season with, which probably won't be very much fun. But I appreciate them allowing us to play them.
Is it at Rupp or is it on a different site game?
No, we get to go to Rupp. We get to go to Rupp. So we're all going to get to grind our teeth, and I get to, go in there and let Coach Cal beat my brains in the first game. So that won't be a lot of fun.
Hey, it's no shame losing to Coach Cal at Rupp. It's no shame in that. No shame in that at all. Hey, I understand that, Coach. And, Coach, I want to ask you about Tony Allen. He's a guy who I'm very close to. I cover the Grizzlies a lot as well, outside of the Hawks and the Hornets. And the guy that's a heck of a defender. How he prepares to defend somebody is just all world and all class. Did you see that in him at OK State, or is this kind of something he could develop when he got into the NBA?
No. That's who he is. Man, he's about that toughness, and he has great pride, as you well know. You know, his heart is as big as a lion. He's got that Valentine, and he's got unbelievable pride in being successful, and that's what he does. And he's a huge winner. You know, led us to the Final Four while he was at Oklahoma State, and he's one of the toughest dudes, in my opinion, of whoever I've coached, and if not the toughest. And he's about winning, and whatever he has to do to make a team successful. You know, most people don't realize this. Obviously, he's player of the year in our league, but, you know, averaged about 17 points a game, could make threes in college. But I think whatever he has to do to help his team win, that's what he does. And it doesn't matter. On those teams with the Celtics and with the Grizz, he doesn't need to score. So he sacrifices all his energy to play on the defensive end and understands what he needs to do to help every team win. And that's who he is. He's the most selfless player I've ever been around.
I thank you so much for that, Coach. I say he's a great guy. I let him know I'm going to have him on the show, so he's definitely aware of it. So he definitely knows. So, Coach Keller, I want to tell you, man, thank you for your time this morning. Look forward to talking to you again in the future, and I'll be watching your team. Hopefully, I can come up there and Rupp and see you guys play. Alexa's not that far from Atlanta, so hopefully I can make that trip up there. Now, like I said, I shot you my number off the air, so you know you have it. So look forward to working with your coach down the road, man.
Boss, man, anytime you want me on, I'll be on for you.
All right, thanks, Coach. You have a great day, man.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Back enjoy the Bossman Show. We have to keep on the theme of having new coaches on our show this week. Is we just talked to Kyle Keller, Stephen F. Austin. We're going to talk to the Columbia Lions' new head coach, Jim Engles, on the Bossman Show. Coach Engles is a coach who was coaching in Newark and in JIT, and moved across the river to Columbia now. So Coach doesn't have to move that very far. Move at all, I don't know. We'll ask him. Coach Engles, how you doing, sir?
I'm great, JR. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Like I said, Coach, did you have to move? Did you move across the river? You kind of stayed in New Jersey where you already at, or just kind of say, "Hey, let me just go on over there and be on that side of the river and be cool with it"? How'd you do that, Coach?
Yeah, I might be one of the only coaches who can probably say this. I've lived in the same house for the last 4 jobs I've had. So it's been, I worked at Ryder, I worked at Columbia, and then I worked at NJIT. Now back at Columbia again. So in the world of coaching, when you're able to stay in the same house and your family doesn't really get affected very much, I think it's sort of, you can't put a price on that. So I've been very blessed to be able to do that.
Yes, indeed, Coach. You've been very blessed. Coach, you know what? I can tell you, my last 4 radio jobs, I've had to move 4 different cities. So just...
I know, it's tough. You got to just packing everything up and moving around. It's just such a dramatic difference for everybody. So I'm really happy to be able to go back to Columbia.
Now, what I did, Coach, is I kept my house in Nashville, Tennessee. So, cause Nashville was pretty good to Atlanta, Charlotte, Memphis, where I worked at. So I kept my house in Nashville. So on the weekends, I go to Nashville, back to my home. So I would stay in a hotel during the week, but go back home on the weekend to my house. So that's how I kind of got away with it. But it's like, man, with the same house 4 years, it'd be cool, man. It'd be cool.
Yeah, it really has been pretty cool. So my wife is extremely excited about that as well.
Yeah, and Coach, I said, what does it mean to you now to be able to lead Columbia? You said in the past, and you get to lead them now, put your own step on in the university and the community. So what does that mean to you right now, Coach?
It's funny. It's Columbia. Just been working at Columbia for 5 years as an assistant coach. I had such a wonderful experience there, and it really opened up the opportunity for me to be a head coach at the division, at any level. Just having Columbia on my resume and being able to network with the people that I was able to meet. And so I always had a very special affinity for Columbia when I left. And, having the opportunity to be a head coach at the NJIT was something I obviously couldn't pass up. But when the opportunity became available again to come back as the head coach, it was something that I knew I always wanted to do. And, obviously a lot of the reasons why were because of this special experience I had there with the first time I was there, and also because of what we just spoke about, being able to stay local, not having to move, and being comfortable with all the people that are there. So, it really was a natural fit and a natural progression for me in my career. And I'm really excited to have the opportunity to come back as the head coach.
And Coach, like you said, I was telling my staff, I was like, hey, for him to leave NJIT, it'd be very, very special to go back to Columbia where he already coached at. Because I know he had success there. He had a great year there at NJIT. And I said, so yeah, to go to Columbia, you had to be something special for you to go there. And what's special about coaching in the Ivy League? I know there's a little different rules about the Ivy League for its workouts and things, scholarships and that nature. So if you could share with us, how is it different coaching in the Ivy League from coaching in that regular D1 school?
Yeah, I mean, the Ivy League it has that true, I guess, the way they set it up. The rules are a little bit different. Like if I was still at NJIT, we'd be able to do a lot with our guys in the summertime if they're back in summer school, and we'd be actually having some practices. And you're not allowed to do that type of stuff in the summer. So they try to really lessen a little bit of the pressures that the kids are under when they are not only athletes, but also as just a regular student. So there are some rules that you have to abide by, which in a lot of ways make a lot of sense. And just being at a place like Columbia, because the differences with NJIT and Columbia, it's the Ivy League itself. The one thing that I experienced when I was an assistant was you could legitimately recruit against anybody. You can recruit against Stanford or Duke or Kentucky. I mean, you can see what some of the schools have done, especially a school like Harvard. It's become like a national type league. So you can recruit anywhere and you have the resources to do it. But in a lot of ways, there's not that pressure where, you're in front of 18, 20,000 people every night and you're not on TV every single night. So there's a good perspective, I think, not only on the academic piece, but also on the athletic piece for the kids. It gives them a whole experience rather than just playing sports.
Well, I hear that, Coach. Folks, we're joined by Jim Engles here on the Bossman Show here in the ATL for you guys out there listening on the Bossman Radio Network. And, Coach, when it comes to recruiting, like I said kind of earlier, Coach said, hey, you're in the same area still. You same hotbeds you used to go to, you can still go to now to get guys. And do you feel like being able to target guys to the Ivy League now would be better for you going forward? Because, hey, it's the Ivy League now, playing Harvard, the Darbys of the world. So you feel like that will help you as well, being at Columbia will help you with getting more guys on your rosters with more quality talent, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when we were at NJIT, it was a very, very strong academic school, so there were some similarities to a lot of the kids that we were trying to recruit. But at NJIT, it was more a local recruiting base because it was a New Jersey state school, and when we inherited the program at NJIT, we hadn't had any success. So it was very hard to generate a lot of excitement from recruits across the country. So we really just sort of looked at New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania kids to the northeastern type kids to sort of build our program. Whereas at a place like Columbia, because of the brand name of the education and the Ivy League itself, we can call up kids from around the country and actually from around the world, and they're very intrigued and very interested to hear what we have to say. So there's a lot of different things that the brand, the Ivy League, and the brand of Columbia can help us and open up the doors for us from a recruiting standpoint. So we've had to sort of expand our base from when we were at NJIT, and that's one of the things I think we're trying to catch up. Recruiting has become such an accelerated and fast-paced business now. A lot of the guys in the Ivy League who were coaches that were there have really been recruiting a lot of the kids that we're trying to recruit for over, maybe 12 months, 18 months. So we're trying to catch up with a lot of the recruiting that's going on at this time.
Well, I hear that, folks. We'll jump out Jim Engles here on the Bossman Show. And, Coach, who are some coaches and individuals would you say had the greatest impact on you during your coaching career so far?
One of the big, all the people that I worked for, Tim Capstro, who's now the radio color analyst for the Brooklyn Nets, was the person who, gave me the opportunity to start in coaching, which is really, in a lot of ways, when I look back and I think about how hard it is, literally I get emails from people, a few emails a week about, looking for opinions on how to get into the business. Hey, can you help me out? So not just coming out of high school, coming out of college and getting the opportunity to get right into college coaching. I obviously owe Tim so much for a lot of things that he was able to do for me. And then Don Harm, who I worked for at Ryder, was a big influence. And then Joe Jones was a huge influence as well, the person that I actually worked for at Columbia. And then, I think when you're in a career or a profession, you look at a lot of people outside that you may not have resources to, but I watch a lot of film and I watch a lot of different coaches and what they've done. And there have been a lot of people who've been able to help me, learn about the business and continue to grow and improve. And so there's a lot of different people who may not have I've actually spoken with, but who've touched our program and touched what I've done. And, it's been a lot of fun to learn different things from different people.
And, Coach, when people watch your team play this season and beyond, what's the one thing you want them to take away from watching you guys play each night that you take the court?
At NJIT, we had inherited a team that hadn't won any games, so we had to sort of develop a culture of toughness and a develop of unselfishness, and the way we play offensively, I think sort of, if you watch us play, you would see some of those tenets sort of come out. The way we share the basketball, the way we assist on a lot of baskets. We shoot the ball very well. We're multi-dimensional in the way we played. So I really like to take a lot of those things that we sort of grew at NJIT and sort of transplant them and bring them along with us to Columbia. So you're going to see probably an offense and defense where there's a lot of different kids who play multi-positions. A lot of kids play. That team type of atmosphere where we share the basketball both offensively and we share our defensive assignments. So I think we've been able to develop a good culture, and I'd like to continue to do that as we start here at Columbia.
And also, you got to our non-conference scheduling as well. I know a lot of games probably have already been done for you for next season, but going this next and beyond, when you had to take over yourself for scheduling wise, how do you see yourself going about that? Do you want to have a tough non-conference schedule? Do you want for Ivy League play, or do you want to kind of get your guys some wins early to get them some confidence going into the conference play? So how do you think you approach non-conference going forward? That's a great question, because that is that's a big piece of your development with your team. And at NJIT, we were able to, we beat Michigan, we beat St. John's, we beat Duquesne. So we beat some teams from some higher levels that were able to sort of solidify what we were doing and give us and allow us to grow our brand at NJIT, which allowed us now to really become a little bit more of a name within the basketball world. So, we'll do the same thing here at Columbia. We're going to play Seton Hall this year. We'll play Miami. There's some good reasons to play. Seton Hall is right across the river from us, so I think it's a great opportunity for us to play against a team that's had a lot of success in the Big East. And then Miami's a great game because it's going to be right after Christmas, so our guys can get a chance to experience some of the warm weather and the beaches down there in Miami during December. So, but we'll continue to try to schedule up games like that. And I think everybody loves to experience those games. I think the alums, I think the players, the parents, myself. When you walk out and you're playing huge arenas and you're playing against teams that are on TV every night, I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a good motivational way to keep the guys intrigued and involved. So we'll continue to do that, and then we have a lot of because of our location in the Northeast and in New York City, there's a lot of teams that we can play, and we'll try to continue to play those teams that we have some traditional rivalries with. And, Coach, did you like these rules about the 30-second shot clock and the freedom of movement and it's less timeouts? Did you enjoy that? Do you want to see any of the other rules maybe tweak or change going forward? Maybe like advancing the ball in less minutes of the game, or, going to a quarter system rather than a half system? There's some things you may want to see them tweak going forward.
Yeah, I've actually liked it. When we took a trip to Europe, a lot of these rules are actually European-based. When we went to Europe, we I experienced some of the rules that they had, and I really like the way they keep the flow of the game going. I like the 30-second shot clock. I don't think it should go anything below that because I think it would take away from some of the offenses that, especially offense that we like to run, where we can move the ball. But I think the 30-second shot clock, it definitely showed that I think points scored per game went up, so I think it was good for the game. And I'd love to see some of those things, like maybe even a quarter. The women have just gone to the 4 quarters. I like that idea. You get some more situational play out of that, and even like advancing the ball, just like you mentioned. So there's some things that I think you can continue to improve. I think the freedom of movement is a good step in the right direction, and I think if we continue to focus on that, I definitely think it helps the flow of the offense. So I like what they're trying to do, and hopefully we can continue to investigate some of those things.
Coach, for me, it's always been what's a blocking and what's a charge. I mean, it looks like a charge to me, but they call it a block like a charge. They call it I just can't get that. That block charge call to me is that hard to call basketball because it's just depending on your angle is how you're gonna call it, and you just never know how they're gonna feel that day and say charge or block. Is that something you always kind of have to wrestle with your players? Kind of teach them really this is how you need to do it so we get a charge or get a block. Is that something you work on in practice every day, trying to get them to get that rule just good so you won't get fouls called on you like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the referees have a tough job, I have to admit. I mean, some of those they're so there's such quick plays that happen, in the heat, and especially at big times of games where these refs have to come up with these, they have to come up with the call, and you have to trust the fact that sometimes they're going to get it right and sometimes they're going to get it wrong. And my big belief is that a lot of this stuff just evens out in the end. So if you don't get a good call one game, maybe you get a call that helps you out the next game. So we talk about that stuff in practice. My big thing in regards to calls is just to tell the guys, hey, sometimes it's not going to be perfect. How are we going to respond? If we get a call against us at a bad time, are we going to respond and continue to keep ourselves in the game mentally? And we talk more about that than just the actual. We don't go back after the game and just look at the play and say, hey, that was right or that was wrong. So we try to keep that mentality with our guys.
Gotcha. Final question for you, Coach, is I want to get you to share my listeners, what has it been like a typical day for you since you've been the head coach at Columbia? I know it's been kind of crazy meeting people you probably had met in your first stint there, meeting alumni. So how's it been for you since you've been there? Typical day for you so far as being the coach of the Lions going forward?
I think when you take over a program, it's extremely there's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. There's a lot. At a place like Columbia, there's a heavy involvement with your alumni. There's a heavy involvement with people on campus. So because of the educational stuff, just the academic index, which is something where you have to take into consideration how their GPAs and their SATs and their ACTs. So you need a lot of help with that stuff as you go through it in financial aid. And so we've been meeting with a lot of different alums. We've been meeting with a lot of people on campus. It's been a very busy time for us, but it's been a lot of fun because I think when you're busy and you're getting things done, I think you obviously feel like you're learning and you're moving forward. So it's been like I'm on vacation right now, and I'll be going into the office after I get off the call with you because I need to take care of some stuff on campus. But in a lot of ways, it's just the nature of the business, and you just continue to do it, and you got to be there for the kids, and you got to be there to continue to get the program better. So. It's really not a career. It's sort of like it's something like it's a lifestyle, I guess, and I think you just get used to it. So it's been fun, and I really after 8 years at NJIT, I think moving to Columbia and having the opportunity to do some different things now, I think is rewarding for me.
Well, Coach Engles, has been great to have you on the show today. Look forward to talking to you to get on the road, and I'll definitely be looking at the Columbia Lions more closely this year because she's been a guest on the show here today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on. Have a great summer.
You too, Coach. Thank you now.
Take care.
All right, folks. That's Coach Engles on the Bossman Show. My Bossman Show coming on next for you after the break.
This beat is so rich.
folks. We're back here to Jared the Bossman Show. We're just joined by Jim Engles of the Columbia Lions and Kyle Keller of Stephen F. Austin University. Now we're joined by Stony Brook Seawolves new head coach, Jeff Boals on the Bossman Show. Coach Boals, I hope you're having a great day so far, Coach.
Doing great, my man. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, Coach. Congrats on being named the new coach of the Seawolves up there. It's Stony Brook University out there on Staten Island, Coach. You're on the island out there doing big things, Coach. What does it mean to you to get this program and put your own stamp on the community up there and on your university as well?
Well, it's really exciting. I'd never been to Long Island before I took the job, and where Stony Brook is on the North Shore, right by the water, and you're an hour from Manhattan, hour and a half from the Hamptons. Just a beautiful area and great campus.
Yes, indeed. Is that kind of what kind of got you to want to go there? Just knowing the setup you have for the kids and your family. It's in a great spot. You can just have all the joys of life there on the island.
I'll be honest with you, JR. When I didn't know much about Stony Brook before I took the job, and the more research I did, the more intrigued I was. And when I talked to the AD, Sean Hilburn, he came from Oregon State. He's got a big picture mentality, and his passion, enthusiasm for the university really got me interested. And then, once I came to campus for the interview, I love the area. It's a brand new arena, brand new weight room. It's a campus of about 22,000. Just had a lot of positives.
And how's the community been treating you so far, Coach, since you've been up there in the whole Stony Brook community up there?
Really good. That's one really good thing about this place is that the community really supports the university. And, I think, the arena seats 4,000 and, we average 3,800 fans. So it's almost a sellout every game. And it's one of those deals where the community really embraces, the university.
Folks, joined by Stony Brook Seawolves head coach Jeff Boals here on the Bossman Show. Hey, Coach, when it comes to recruiting, what kind of guys do you want to target to bring into your program? And just also to that same point, how is the July period for you? Give me on the road to look at guys you want to bring in. So how's everything going for you in the recruiting aspect of things?
It's going well so far. We can really recruit, pretty much nationally, I think. Obviously, the tri-state area's got a lot of great players, and like you mentioned, down in Atlanta, there's a lot of really good players. So it's a very good academic institution, and the fact that we're an hour from Manhattan, we're right on the North Beach on Long Island. The South Beach is 30 minutes away. There's a lot to offer, from that standpoint. And July recruiting was good. It was good to see a lot of kids that we had been recruiting when I got here in April, and lay eyes on a lot of guys in the East and the Northeast, and now it's August 1, so we'll be having kids visit campus and kind of show them what we're all about.
And also, Coach, who are some coaching individuals in your career that has the biggest impact on you as you take this coaching job here at Stony Brook now?
Well, I've been very fortunate, JR, to work for some great head coaches, and the last 7 years, working for Thad Matta has been an experience every single day, and not only how to run a program, but how to treat people and just do it the right way. Worked for Keith Dambrot, University of Akron. Mark Schmidt, who's at St. Bonaventure now. Worked for Greg White at Marshall University. So just a lot of really good coaches. Jason G, who's at Longwood University. So very successful guys, and really showed me how to run a program the right way.
Yes, indeed. I tell you what, Coach, those are some great names you named off there. I tell you that those guys all brought in, the guys I always watched and thought, dang, these guys are some great guys that haven't been in the business. Because been around the coaching business as I have them so many years, it's like some guys are dirt balls. They just are. But the guys you named, I've always heard great things about the guys who you've named. And I just you go work for great guys. And it's also something good to learn from guys who have a great integrity about them, a great mindset to teach you the business of coaching.
Yeah, when you're coaching, you spend so much time together, on the court, off the court, and, almost sometimes more than you spend with your own family. And when you work for, I like to say work with, people, that are fun to be around, that do it the right way, and work hard and have a good time doing it, it just makes things a lot better.
Folks, are joined by Jeff Boals here on the Bossman Show, the coach of Stony Brook up there on the North Shore of Long Island up there in New York. And, Coach, How did the workouts go for your guys this summer? Getting to see your guys kind of know what you have. Did those go good for you, and did you enjoy getting them on the court those 2 hours this summer and seeing what you have to go for this season?
Yeah, very beneficial to have that rule, taking over a program. And, the top 3 players graduated, Jamil Warney being probably the best player ever to play here at Stony Brook. Was the 3-time League Player of the Year. He's going into the Dallas Mavericks training camp here soon. So we lost our top 3 guys and, have some good pieces coming back. And, so it was good for me to, lay eyes on them and get them out, working them out in the court. We had a couple kids that were injured when I took the job. So those guys are coming back, getting healthier. And, it's always good to see what you have and start implementing, what you want to do in the summertime.
And speaking to that, Coach, to people watch your team play this year and beyond, what is it you want them to take away from watching your guys play every night?
Well, I think, play the right way and play with effort. The two things I've been preaching constantly are attitude and effort. And, the guys here last year was the first time they've ever been to the NCAA tournament. Lost to Kentucky in the first round. And, we want to, go far beyond that. And you look at the Middle Tennessee State, Arkansas, Little Rock, teams like that, when you get to the tournament, anything can happen. And, when you get confidence, they beat Michigan State. And, I think it's one of those deals where, when you see your name pop up on the screen on Selection Sunday, that's what it's all about.
Oh, yes, indeed. And I know Coach Davis, MTSU, personally, he's a great guy, and he also coaches those guys are real, real nice down there in Murfreesboro for MTSU.
Yeah, did a great job, and that's the beauty of college basketball. I mean, there's so much parity nowadays, and all these kids play AAU together, so there's no fear factor. Or, you know who you're playing against and played against them in AAU or high school, whatever. And that's the neat thing about college basketball.
Now, I know as a new coach, you always have to worry about those non-conference scheduling games. I know next year's probably already done for you this season coming up. But going forward after this year, how do you see yourself scheduling those games for your squad? Do you want to go kind of get them some good wins at home, or you want to go out and test yourself on the road and try to get them ready for conference play going forward?
Well, it's amazing, when Jamil Warney graduates, who was a 3-time Player of the Year. Nobody wanted to play him before, but now everybody's down on my phone. Knowing that he's not going to be here trying to play you. But, that's the beauty. You can kind of control who you play and what you play. And, obviously the more home games you have, the better record you're going to be. That's why you see all the high major teams, that buy games and have all these, 12 or 13 home games in non-conference and play their 8 or 9, home games. Some of these guys are playing 19, 20, 21, 22 home games. At this level, you're lucky to, probably get half your non-conference at home, and if you do, you got to win them. So you want to play a competitive schedule to prepare you, but a lot of times it comes down to the last 3 days in March in the conference tournament. But you want to prepare yourself as best as possible.
Yes, indeed. And Coach, did you like the rule changes last year for the 30-second shot clock, the freedom of movement, and the 4 timeouts? Do you want to see maybe some institutes where you have 4 quarters, maybe advance the ball at the end of the game? Are there things you want to see them maybe do with the block charge? Just want to get your opinion on that, Coach.
Yeah, I think the game's ever evolving and changing, and it's a tough. It's got to be one of the toughest jobs in America to be a Division I basketball referee. These guys are so athletic and physical, and I know the rules committee is trying to do the best interest of the game and change some things. And I think eventually it'll evolve to, 4 quarters. I think pretty much, every league in America and in the world, has 4 quarters except for, Division I men's basketball. And, the women, changed theirs last year and with the timeouts and, advancing the basketball and, kind of creates, some excitement at the end of games, running the side out of bounds, to get a 3-point shot off instead of a full court, play at the buzzer. So I think it'll change here in the next few years and go that route.
And I also think, Coach, with the 4 quarters, that kind of helps alleviate the loss of that timeout because you get extra timeout at the end of the quarter break anyway. So it helps with the loss of that extra timeout you once had with the 5.
Yeah, it gives you an extra timeout and allows you to kind of, rest some guys, at the end, the NBA's got a great rotation going. You know exactly when you're going out of the game and, when the next guy's coming in just to get a rotation going. So I think that way, is beneficial as well.
And final question for you, Coach. Notice when you're a new head coach, it's a whirlwind. It's crazy. So, if you could, Coach, share with us what a typical day was for you since you've been the head coach at Stony Brook going forward. Like, I know it's been crazy for you, but you just give a little bit of insight. How has it been for you with meetings and meeting alumni on campus? How's it been for you?
You know, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. You can go to all these symposiums you want, and I was in Villa 7, where they talk about trying to prepare to be a head coach, and they'll bring guys who are first-year head coaches in to talk about, what the first few weeks are. But until you actually go through it and sit in that chair, it's a complete whirlwind in a good way. And when I took this job, they had a head coach for 3 weeks, so you immediately got to get to know your team that's on campus. Those are your biggest recruits, and build trust and build great synergy with those guys. And you're trying to meet as many people in the community, and you're doing workouts, you got to do recruiting. So you just put on a lot of different hats. And I told Coach Mata the other day, I'd be a way better assistant coach, right now, having been a head coach for 3 months, just by sitting in this chair. And, it's exciting. I think anytime you get a chance to run your own program and put your stamp on it, it was a dream of mine to be a Division I head coach, and really excited about the opportunity.
Yes, indeed. With Coach Boals, we're there for him having a shoulder day coach. And I look forward to looking at your team this year. Hope they can get a game down in this way in Georgia, close to Atlanta, hopefully. But I'll definitely be looking at your team this year, and I'll definitely have you on down the road, Coach, as well.
Hey, Jay, I appreciate the time, my man.
No problem, Coach. Folks, that was Coach Boals here on the Bossman Show. Come next for you is the Boss Report after the break.
I wear a mean dark pair of shades, and you can't see my eyes unless my head is bent. You dig?
Show for you. Our interview tonight, Jeff Boals, Kyle Keller, and my man up there, Jim Engles. So we got that number, but you guess what, people? I got a surprise for you. Ain't heard him in a while, but he's back. My man from Memphis, Mugshots Cordova, Trust Us Records, to Like It Is show, the one and only J.C. Smith. What's good, bro?
Yeah, it's been a long time, boss. What's happening?
Not much. We're in ATL chilling, bro. Getting ready for Falcons football. Gonna be some Titans football this week. So football's back, bro. It's almost time for the NBA too.
For sure, man. I'm excited, man. It's the best time of the year coming up. Like you said, NFL camp's going on right now. Man, NBA season right around the corner. Let's get it, man.
No doubt. Folks, you've been waiting on it. It's time for it. It's here. It's the Boss Report. Bruh, first story. New York men arrested after creating meth lab under the Walmart parking lot.
Man, I thought meth was like a thing of the past. Like, wasn't that like Breaking Bad that they showed you to come on? Like Breaking Bad, it went off like 2 years ago, man. People, you mean to tell me there's people still cooking meth out there in
Yes.
New York?
Yes.
In New York? Man, like I thought meth was like something like in West Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that, man. Like they doing meth in New York? Oh, it's crazy.
Well, get this. Naked Florida man is arrested after firing apples, oranges, limes, watermelons, and plums at unsuspecting customers of the Best Buy from the roof.
Okay, that's now Florida. Now, like those are key ingredients for a Boss report. All right, you gotta have the state of Florida in there to really, really make it a Boss report type of story. And you said my guy was he was a fruit sniper. Is that what you told me?
Yes, he was, and doing it naked from the roof.
Wow. He might have been on that meth from New York. You know what I'm saying? He might have had the meth, and he was doing his thing on the roof there, man. So, I'm putting two and two together right now.
Exactly. I mean, you never know when the Boss report. And New Jersey woman arrested after searching for Pokemon in a cemetery and getting stuck in a tree.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all, this Pokemon Go is not what's up. It's going to get y'all hurt. Man, I had, like, a couple weeks ago, late at night, I noticed some kids running in my yard. Do you know how close they came to being some dead kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't just be running out willy-nilly up in folks' yard looking for Pikachu. You know what I'm saying? Pikachu is going to get y'all messed up around here. I'm waiting on the fad to die down. Like, but if you a grown-ass man and you playing Pokemon Go, like, kill yourself, man. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even like Pokemon when it was out in the late 90s as a cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you 35 years old, you playing Pokemon Go? Like, on the daily? Like, kill yourself. Like, for real, man.
Exactly. And Florida crazies. Florida man is arrested when cops mistake Krispy Kreme donut glaze for crystal meth.
There you go. I told you. I knew crystal meth in Florida was gonna find their way together. I knew it, man. Now, if you told me that Krispy Kreme, they put crystal meth in them donuts, I might believe that. Because when that hot light goes on at Krispy Kreme, bruh, it is too good. What, they putting something illegal in those donuts, man. Like, you turn into a real fiend for Krispy Kreme donuts, bruh. Like, if you told me there's meth in there, I believe it.
Exactly. This happened right in my backyard, bruh. Georgia man arrested after being caught slinging that white powder naked in front of McDonald's.
I mean, it's high outside, man. You know, the temperatures across the country during the summer are at record highs. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got time to put clothes on and sell drugs at the same time. Come on now.
Exactly.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Give my guy a break, man.
All right. This is going to be real good. Florida man arrested after ditching son in police chase because, quote, he couldn't keep up.
Hey, man, everybody knows, hey, in a police chase, every man for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Every man for themselves, man. Like, I'm not mad at this story at all, man. If I'm in that position, I'll probably go the same route. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sorry, son. You know what I'm saying? It was either me or you. All right? For real, man. I'm not mad at this story at all, man.
Arizona parents arrested after leaving 2-year-old home to go catch Pokemon and some, quote, emotion lotion.
All right, so obviously, like I said, everything is coming together right now, boss. Obviously, there was some crystal meth involved. All right, you got your Pokemon Go. It's just a bad combination, man. Anytime that you on drugs, you high, and you playing Pokemon Go, you're gonna make terrible parenting decisions, and you're gonna pay the cost for it.
I agree. This is a story right here is very scary on many levels. Florida woman arrested after lighting boyfriend on fire without letting her smell his sack and get her any drugs.
Wow. Hey, man, like they've gone from snipping it off to burning it off now. Lighting your ass on fire, man. Hey, man, y'all fellas, you gotta be careful, man. You know, you gotta choose the right one. Make your next move your best move, man. Choose the right one or not. You're gonna have third-degree burns, man. It's not gonna be a good look.
Exactly. And a Texas man is arrested after shoving breastfeeding baby out the way so, quote, he can enjoy the delight of the breast milk.
Hey, man, that's another story. I'm not that mad at it because it's like there was plenty of times when when my son was a baby, you know, and I see my wife breastfeeding him, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that looks pretty good. It looks, you know, it looks pretty good. So I was like, hey, you know, I was getting a little bit jealous over here. Like, hey, you know, can I get one and get the other one? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we work something out? You know?
Exactly. I understand the Texas man. I get him. I get him as well. I'm right there with him. Now, here we go. Now, we went from myth to something else. Florida man on Molly arrested after saying he was, quote, waving a machete because he was, quote, chasing ghosts, trying to find the son and get money.
Maybe he saw the new movie Ghostbusters, man, you know, and just, you know, they thought he wanted to make another movie, Ghostbusters 2, you know what I'm saying? So, I saw that movie, by the way, Ghostbusters. I didn't like it at all, man. If you haven't seen it yet, wait till it come out on DVD. Don't spend your money at the movies to go see Ghostbusters. It was totally whack, man.
Hey, I will not go see it. I'll take your advice. I will not go see that movie. Wow,
yeah, but shout out to the black chick, though. The black chick at the movie. Leslie Jones. She from Memphis, man. Yeah, shout out to the one on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, shout out to her, though.
Another story right here in my backyard. Georgia woman arrested after being busted robbing men she goes to see as an escort.
Man, that's a tough one, man. How fine is she, though?
Not very.
You know what I'm saying?
Not very.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, they need to lock her up for like 20 years because if you find, like, you can get away. Of course, you know, ladies can get away with stuff depending on how they look. But, like, if you a fine-ass escort and you sticking up folks, you know, like, if it's just like a little, you know, petty cash, a couple $100 or something, she take it, I'll let her slide, man. But if she ugly and you got the nerve to steal from somebody, oh, you gotta get life. You gotta get life, 20 years top.
Exactly. And Florida man arrested after beating the brakes off wife, but saying her previous boyfriends had a bigger Johnson.
Hey, man, that's a touchy subject, man. You know, as men, you know, our ego, our pride, we're very territorial. You know, like that does something to you. You know what I'm saying? It does something to you. We don't do nothing to me because I got the biggest Johnson in the world, so I ain't tripping.
Hey, no comment on that. Well, this Alabama man may need your help, brother. Alabama man in skeleton costume and accomplice arrested after stealing, get this, erectile dysfunction pills from GNC.
Hey, man, those GNC pills don't work, okay? They rip y'all off in GNC. All right? That don't work at all, man. Like, man, you really wasting your time. You're trying to jack something out of GNC, think it's going to help you Johnson there. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, but I got something, man. I got something for you. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? But also know how to get in contact with me if y'all need something out there, man. I got something that's going to get you right.
Y'all know how to get at me. Holla at BossmanRadioShow.com and I'll forward it to my man JC. He got you covered.
I got the plug.
Well, here we go. Florida woman arrested after chasing man with a hatchet because he won't have sex with her and he won't rub her feet.
You know what, boss? I always say I never hear about any of these stories that be going on, but I actually have heard that one. I've heard that one before. All right. Hey, man, you know, a woman's got to have it, man, by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? But for her to go to those type of measures, that lets you know that she probably look like, what's the one show used to come on, man, with the little fat girl, Honey Boo Boo.
Oh yeah, that horrible.
You remember Honey Boo Boo's mom?
Yeah.
How she looked? I bet you anything. Yeah, this lady in that story, she probably looks kind of like Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Exactly.
Not good.
2 Wisconsin men arrested after crashing car after playing Pokemon Go and stroking themselves to an adult film.
Whoa, that's just too much going on, man. Like, either you're going to have to do one or the other, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You already know Pokemon Go enough alone is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna add stroking your Johnathan to it also at the same time.
Exactly.
That's just too much going on, man. That's definitely not safe.
Exactly. And final story for you is, bro, Florida Bears on the run after busting out of captivity, making house calls and chilling in trees.
So you telling me Florida got bears now?
Yes, they do. A lot of them.
When did they get bears, man? Like, I've heard so many animals in Florida I never thought were down there in that area. Like, Florida has panthers. Where the hell did they get panthers from in Florida? So you got alligators, bears, and panthers.
Yeah.
Like, what's really going on? I'm never going to Florida ever again, man. Like, you get killed by so many things down there now.
Think about this, bro. It's on the water. They can easily be shipped to Florida or come off the boat, and they in Florida. But bears, the Everglades and all the forests in Florida, the bears love that stuff.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, dog. I'm staying right here in Memphis. Well, all I got to worry about is the dog. All I got to worry about is the neighbor's dog. That's it.
Well, I could tell you in Atlanta now, we got gators in Atlanta now, too. We find gators in the river and in the lakes around Atlanta.
Well, are they sweet gators or the gay gators down there in Atlanta?
I don't know, but they are chomping asses, I must say. There's been 7 gator instances this summer in Georgia already with gators.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Yep, staying right here in Memphis, man. No place like home.
So, bruh, for close the Boss report tonight, what is your take on the report you just heard, man?
Man, hey, I think this might be the best Boss report ever, man. Like, I'm so in tune with these crazy stories now. Like, at first, I was like, what? Huh? Get out of here. You can't be serious. But now, like, I realize that these are actual facts, actual reality, and I can comment on these stories no problem now, man. So Boss, I want to thank you for bringing these crazy-ass stories into my life.
So now you can be like, oh, this is everyday life here in Florida or Georgia. It's what happens in life now,
It's how it goes down, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Before we go, man, tell the people about what you got going on down at Mugshots Cordova, your show, what you getting, stuff you got coming up for the people.
Man, I got a lot of things bubbling coming up for the fall, for the rest of the year, man. Of course, doing the show, man, 7:30 Yahoo Sports, trying to bring the football show back. I got some things going on with 88.5 now, man. Of course, still got mug shots. If you haven't been to mug shots, man, best karaoke in the city, best karaoke party in the city, man. We were voted Best in Black Awards 2016 for best club or lounge in the city of Memphis, man. We made the final list for that, man. So that's a really good look. That's a very big award there here in the city, man. So we just doing big things here in Memphis, boss. You know what I'm saying? So we try to get my guy, the boss man, to come back to the city, man, so we can wreck shop.
Hey, soon Degrees put out their schedule, and I'll know when I'll be down there, man. Soon Degrees put their schedule out, I can make some mark some dates. I gotta holler at my new best friend, bro, Mike Conley.
Man, you and mine. That's my best friend also, dog.
So,
150 million for Mike Conley. For Mike Conley, oh my God, man!
The highest paid dude in the leagues in Memphis.
That's crazy, man. Like I love Mike Conley. Well, Mike Conley ain't no $150 million player. I'm sorry. Now 120, 100 million, yeah. But 150, get out of here, man.
Think about this. The Grizz got 3 max dudes on the roster. Who would have thought that would happen about the new CBA? 3 max guys on the Grizz roster. Who would ever thought?
Yeah. God bless
America, Sam Young to avoid the luxury tax back in the day was pissed off Lionel Hollins.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I should have been a point guard, bro.
Yes, you should have. You
Yes,
should have.
sir.
Hey, they can still sign you to a 10-day contract, bro. If they sign Tony and Rowe, they definitely sign you.
Man, Chris Wallace, holla at your boy, man. Let me get. All I need is like 50,000. Let me pay off these student loans and these folks calling, man. Let me pay these bills off, and like I said, I'll be good. Give me 50,000, man. That's all I need, man. Get Sally Mae off my ass, man. Come on.
Hey, send me your tape to Seawolves@Grizzlies.com. Send me your tape. He'll get it.
But, hey, man, I got that old man Zach Randolph post-up game. I can't dunk no more. All right, but I can get you buckets, man. I get you buckets and rebounds, man. Help boy out.
Hey, Grizz, if you need a new PA announcer, holler at your boy Bossman. For real.
Ooh.
I got you. I got you. If you need a new PA announcer, which I think you may do, I will actually move from Atlanta and come to Memphis to do that job for nights a year. I promise you I would.
Too soon, boss.
Hey, I'm sorry. According to what I read, the former guy's been fired, so it's opening, right?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
So I'm not campaigning for another man's job. It's open, technically, as of today. So, that being said, hey, I'm available. I can do the job.
Hey, man. Hey, brother, all I'm going to say is shoot your shot. Shoot your shot, man.
Hey, checking in for the Grizzlies, number 50, Zach Randolph.
You got the job, bro. You sound just like you got the job, bro.
Exactly. And the coach of the Grizzlies, Dave Fisdale.
You in there.
Hey, can I do it now, bro? You endorse me to be the new Grizz announcer. You endorse me for that, bro. You endorse me. Hey, dog, from your mouth to today to the Grizz ears, man. I hope you get it, dog. I really do. No doubt. Well, folks, been a great show for you this week, man. My man JC Smith was on the show with us, man. Look here. Thanks to Jeff Boals, Kyle Keller, Jim Engles, JC Smith, my man. Hey, bro. See you real soon, bro. Thank you as always, bro. It's been a great week on the Bossman Show. Catch us next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. We out.
And if you don't know, now you know.